Good evening. It's Cindy Fodor here with Stamp the Love, and it's Make It Monday. I'm recording this ahead because of Easter and a busy week ahead. And also because the project that I'm showing you, I'm sending off in a swap early Monday morning, and I wanted to get it done ahead for you so that you could see a sneak peek at some new products, a new fun fold, just a lot of really cool things that I'm excited to share with you. So pop on and say hello. Let me know that you're here. It's always helpful to know that you're watching. And if you have any comments or if you like what I'm doing, I love to hear that from you. So new catalog comes out very soon. I have put them in the mail to most of you. If you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, you'd like to be my customer, let me know and I will be happy to mail one to you. What else? Oh, the new platform unification, the new reward system is up and running, and I'm excited to have a prize for the first person that uses it. It started on the 15th, today's the 19th, and I didn't see any new orders yet, so you could be the first. All right, just don't forget when you get on there to make sure that you're signed in. Before you place your order, you should be signing in with your name and your password. And then upon checkout, I think they'll ask you if you want to be part of the rewards program. So make sure you do that. Also make sure, I should have checked this out, but I think there's also a place that you want to allow communication with me. And if you don't do that, I have no way of helping you with things. So make sure you do that as well. Okay. I see that my phone, or my other, I really tested this out before I did this. Hold on one second. I have to fix my other camera because it fell off. It's the glue. I need to get my husband down here to super glue this thing on. I noticed that it was having a problem before and I didn't assess it. So let me just set this up here quick. All right. I'm not sure if that's right, but we'll go to the other screen, the other camera, and then I can make sure that it's correct. It looks like something might be messed up, but all right. So thank you for joining me tonight. I'm excited about lots of new things. So starting on May 7th, I believe, is when the catalog goes live. We will also have new online products. So many things that you're going to love. Stay tuned. I'm hoping for a special kit offer. I really think that with this new program where you're going to be ordering online yourself for the most part anyways, I think it's a great time to sign up to be a demonstrator. And I think there might be a kit offer coming, so stay tuned. I will let you know as soon as I hear that. I think it'll be a great time to try it to see if it's something that you like. And of course, you can always go back to being a full pay customer of mine and I can earn the income. But I would rather you get savings on everything, of course, especially with prices going up and things like that. Oh, another thing, in the new catalog, I think I mentioned before that the cardstock prices are going up. So now would be a great time to shop ahead before those prices go up. If they're still available. I think some colors may be selling out, but anyways, I think that's everything. I'm going to pop over here to the other camera and we'll get started. Okay, there we go. It looks a bit messy, but I have a method to my madness. So I'm introducing to you the whole suite. Let me go back to my catalog here. It's called Beautiful Gallery, and it's all this stuff here. So let me show you what all that is. Okay, first of all, we have this gorgeous new paper that's called, what is it called? Beautiful Gallery. And you can see here how just gorgeous it is. And I'm going to show you a bunch of the prints, just because you can't hardly just flip through them and see all the gorgeousness. These have just more patterns on them. But these scenes are just to die for. Here's another one with just patterns. put that in with that one. And here's another beautiful scenery that I can just imagine adding to. Some of these I can't imagine cutting. Others I can just imagine like adding a few things to it. Before I get started, maybe I will show you two cards that I took that one and made. I cut 2 inches off of it, actually more than 2. I made this 3 3/4 inch wide. So the rest I moved over here, actually this way, I think, is how I did it. And you can see there how I made 2 totally different cards, both beautiful, but I was able to make a card and not waste any of the cardstock or the designer paper. In this, I'm using the gems that were in this suite, and they're called the pressed flower motifs. They are heavy. They're a heavy little metal metallic type gem. And I'm also using this ribbon that is called Basic Beige Classic Ribbon. So pretty. It has a nice close weave to it, but it's not heavy at all. And then I just used my scissors to roughen up the edge a little bit. And I used my ribbon tire to get this double bow here. This one I just tied in a bow. Anyways, so there's some ideas. I'm going to not be using the designer paper. That's why I wanted to show that to you ahead of time. I'm also not using the ribbon. What else am I using? Well, there's another ribbon. I've got 2 of them open. So these are 2 of the bundles that are in the suite. The Beautiful Motif bundle looks like this. And I have not used these 2 stamps. I don't see where they're going to be a big use to me, but I might be surprised. But I bought this for the dies and the words. I think the font of the words is nice, and they're lots. Thinking of You, I use a lot. So there's one of the bundles. Here's another one. This one has 2 sets of dies, and it offers this this great little frame, and we're going to use that a lot. And I'm going to be stamping a lot with this set. So let me set that aside for a second. And then one other thing that it offers is this beautiful embossing folder. And this is called, I just set something on this. This is called the Damask or Damask. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I think different people probably say it differently, but Damask Designs embossing folder. This is not a 3D, so you need your 2 clear plates for this one. All right, let's pull out. I want to show you the fold first. So I'm going to pull out my Simply Scored, and we'll give you some dimensions and some scoring information. So this is a 5.5 by 11 inch piece. So you only get 1 out of a sheet of cardstock. We're going to score it at 4, at 8 1/4, and at 9, I'm going to give it just a little mark here at the top. And then at 10 3/8, I'm going to go like this, put my my stylus in that slot, bring it down here because I want to put a mark down here. And I'm just going to put a mark right there. So I'm putting this mark where I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut across here. And I just want to be able to see that. I'm putting it out a little further than I need it to be so that I can actually cut that mark off. All right, and you probably can't see it, but I just have a little dinge in here and a little bit down here. And I'm going to now take, whoops, lost that. I'm going to now go to my trimmer, and I'm going to put those little marks into the on top of the slot here. And here I'm just making sure that I'm cutting away the marks. So this piece comes out. I don't need that, but I have a whole bunch of those because, like I said, this is a swap card that I'm doing. And so therefore, I have a lot of those. So we shall see. And then this just gets folded like this. Just want to make sure that I have it nice and straight. And then this one folds in like this. And there's how the beginning of our card is made. Now, let me grab this die. So what I did on this front, this is actually not my front because we're going to create a front, but on the piece after this part opens, this is what you'll see. And I actually sent this through and cut this design, and I'll show you what that looks like on here. It looks like that. So it has these little leaves that are like loose and can be raised up. So like if you're creating a piece of art, and you could pop these up behind it. In this case, it's going to be a flat card, so I don't need to do that. So we're going to start working with that. I have some things already done so that this will go a little quicker. So I took that frame that I showed you. I guess I should pull that out here real quick. This frame. So this frame cuts here, and it cuts here, and it cuts here. So it cuts 3 places. Plus it leaves these little marks here. So I'm hopefully gonna use several parts of it. I cut my paper a little bigger than this size, which is what I'm using for my front, because I wanted to use this outside piece, but I didn't want this whole piece. So this, let me just put this on here so that you can see. I don't know if you can see those little marks on here. So this was the outside piece. I'm going to actually use this for the inside of my card, but I'm using this frame that's cut out from here. And I ran it through the damask embossing folder so that it has a little bit of a pattern to it. And I'm just going to glue that right on the front here. And for this, you have to be really careful because we've got this slant going. So we're only going to be able to ink part of this. But I've already done 20 some of these. So I now sort of know about where I can put my adhesive and not have it gupping out all over my card. And you can see I have ink or glue all over me from this. And also the bottom comes over a little bit, so I know that I have that space. And I did put plenty on here because this is a movable piece and I need to make sure that it's secure. And then I want to try to center a little bit. It's going to stay a little bit to the right, just because I have to make sure I catch it there. I could have made this come over a little further, I guess. And I'm just looking to make sure that all my edges look even before this glues down completely. And I think that looks okay. All right, see how that peeks through there? All right, we're going to add a couple more pieces. I've already stamped and die cut this piece from the same bundle, the Gallery Blooms bundle. That's what we're using right now. And I'm going to pop that on here. And I did take somewhere here. I have a Thinking of You that I stamped from the other bundle. Excuse me. And I cut it out with our stylish Shapes dies. I haven't talked this much all day. And I'm just going to tuck this under here before I glue anything down because I have to make sure this tucks under this flower. I want to be able to see my U coming out there under that leaf. And I also want to make sure that there's an even space right in here. So I'm going to pull this down here a little bit. And then what I did, I made sure this was inside of the edge of the card here. I'm just going to turn this and just lift a few pieces and put some glue under. So I'm going to put a dab of glue under here and maybe a spot there. Press that down. Let me lift this up. We'll put a little bit of glue under this on the stem here. I just felt like this was easier than trying to glue the whole thing and then get too much glue in a spot. So you do have to go a little slower because this glue takes a few seconds to dry. I do want to go underneath this tag over here on that ledge and get that glued down, and then I'll come over here and glue it to this side to make that little bridge across there so that I'm still open like this. Okay, I've got it glued on this side of the bridge and on this side. and the card is still able to open. Now, I do need to finish gluing the rest of this down. So I'm just going to lift this, add a little bit of glue under here. I'm staying over here to the right because everything to the right should be safe. And we'll press that down in place. You can see how this is coming out. And then I'm going to come up here and add just a little bit at the top because I can see this is overlapping here, so I have some space here. So we'll put a little bit of adhesive there. All the time trying to keep all of my glue contained so that it doesn't show or doesn't go through to the other side. And you can always come back here and look and make sure that everything looks glued together there. All right, there we go. Let's see, what next can we add? Okay, so I took some gold cardstock or gold paper and cut these two pieces from the Gallery Blooms dies, and we're going to add those with some glue. I designed this at a retreat and I didn't have any gold paper with me. So I embossed paper with gold embossing powder and cut this out to actually design the card. It actually worked out pretty good. But that would be a lot of work to make 20 some of these, so I used gold paper. Fortunately, I had it at home. Just adding a touch of glue to some of these leaves here. And there's another ribbon that I'm using, and I can't tell you what suite it's part of, but look at this gorgeous gold ribbon. So that's what I'm using for this card, because this is a little more elegant than that basic beige trim. That's pretty, but I needed this to really pop because my background color is sort of muted, and I was going to try to add some new designer papers to it, but I just loved how the Lost Lagoon, the gray granite, and the gold went together. All right, now we have to complete the inside of this because, you know, I don't always do that on here, but it's a swap card. So I was trying to come up with something because we open this, then we open this beautiful piece, and then we have this blank gray spot. So I took that frame that I showed you that I cut from the edge of this, and I'm going to just cut a piece of paper that fits inside of that, and that's going to be my inside frame. So first we're going to stamp that. So let me just grab this, and I'm taking a stamp from Gallery Blooms and one from Beautiful Motif for the greeting on that will come from this one. Is that true? No, that is not true. Hold on one second. I pulled, hold on. What did I do with the set? Here it is. I pulled another new set. It's called The Right Words, and it has some really nice sayings in it. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. Thinking of you in a gorgeous font. Forever loved, forever remembered. I miss you already. And so many more. I won't read them all to you. The one I'm using is, I wish I had the right words for a time like this. So we did Thinking of You on the front from the Beautiful Motif set. And I'm going to do this on the inside with Lost Lagoon. Now I know I have a little bit of a frame around here, so I'm going to move it in a little bit. And then I'm going to do this Queen Anne's lace just here on the edge. And it's going to go under my frame just a little bit because I want room to write. But look how pretty that is. All right, so now we can add the frame. I'm going to keep it towards the inside because I'm not even sure. I think I cut my cardstock down to fit this, so I think it will fit pretty good. But you can see there's a little bit of a little bit showing there. I'm going to just make sure it looks straight here. And now I can add some glue back here and adhere it to my card. And I think that will set that inside off beautifully. So there we go. There's that. And all finished. So hopefully you like that fold. It's something just a little different than I normally do. I was just trying to come up with something with those frames and this beautiful, it almost looks like a rose, or I don't know, it could be a lot of different flowers, ranunculus. But anyways, all right, so that's all I have to share with you for this card. But I do want to show you a couple things. One is I've shown you before things that Joel's making for organization. We have a new product. We don't have a name for it yet, but it holds everything. Pretty much. Let me go to this view. So we've got our StazOn cleaner, our regular cleaner, all of our pieces for the Take Your Pick tool in the front here, the putty refills, and the stylus that comes with it. And then this is a pick and a serrated cutter, roller cutter tip. And there's another piece that goes in here that's missing, that I can't find. It's a blade. So there's a spot for that, but I just have my three putties in there. There's a space for your brush tip. I have my brush there, the previous brush that we had, and I just replace it with these tips as I need. Some tweezers, a ruler, the bone folder. We've got room for pens. There's a square slot here that fits all those brushes and everything. This slot here fits two big scissors. We've got two places for Take Your Pick tools right here. Right here behind the ruler is room for the fine tip glue, which I call glossy. I don't use it for glue. I just use it for shiny stuff. This slot here holds two of our little snip scissors, and then this square back here holds our painters. There's another slot here to hold a spritzer tool or whatever else you want to use. Beside here, right behind the ruler here, there's a place for a pencil and a pen. This one I can't remember. We had something else in that before I put my pen in there. But anyways, so some little slots like that to sort of separate your tools out so that you can find them easily, but also keep them in one spot. And in the back, from this view, you can see we put a slot back here to pop your cleaning pads if you want to, whatever you're using at the moment. I know that we have another organizer to hold those, but sometimes I also want them right here. So, or whatever you want to put back there, your catalog, whatever you're working on. So we tried to make it really versatile. I'm really happy with it. Joel, I just gave him the stuff that I wanted to fit in it, and he designed it, so I can't really take a lot of credit for that. But that is available in several different colors. It's $35 plus shipping. And so let me know if it's something you're interested in. We also have the ribbon holders. Ribbon tamers is what we're calling them. Here you can see it on my ribbons. It's sort of nice. I have them in the ink pad and marker holders with the extra storage space below. And they really work nice to keep them from just rolling around down there. And so they come in a pack of 12. So there's 3 different sizes based on the sizes of ribbon that we currently have. The width of the actual, what do I want to say, the roll that we have. So it's $12 for those. Those are just $4 shipping, or they would ship with the other thing for no extra shipping, I'm sure. I think that's everything. I haven't had time. There will be a page on my blog where you can find all of this stuff and all the details when I get to it. It has just happened way too fast, and um, I should have showed you what Joel's making for Easter. I'll try to post that. I didn't want to give the kids any heads up about that, but he made some really cute things on his 3D printer for the grand. So, all right, everybody, thank you. I hope that you had a blessed Easter, as this is coming to you after Easter, but I am recording this before Easter, so hopefully you'll have a great week, and God bless.